All right, Jordan, our guest Bruce is in the waiting room.
Is in the building?
He's in the building. Are you ready to letting him in?
Ladies and gentlemen, it is with my great pleasure to introduce you, my great friend, a legend in the city of Detroit, a mogul, an entrepreneur, a businessman. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Detroit Bruce. The Bruce!
Hello, Mr. Schwartz.
Yo! What's
Hello.
up? You hear me?
Yes, we
Yes,
can.
we can.
We can hear you, man.
See me?
Yes,
sir.
we can see you too.
Beautiful.
Good
How's it
afternoon
going,
to you.
guys?
Good. How about
Doing
you?
great.
I gotta tell you, like, the most amazing thing just happened here in Detroit,
What's up?
and I was fortunate enough to see it happen live, and that
Ooh.
was the Blue Angels just flew over our city.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah, you guys ever see the Blue Angels?
Yeah,
No, what
I
are
actually-
those?
Yeah.
What are
What
those?
are they? Bro, it's the most badass plane assembly in the world, I would say.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
synchronized flying.
Oh, that's awesome. I haven't seen
What are
an air show
The
in
big, what are
forever.
those big planes?
You guys are obviously in different areas. I want to put you on the grid. There we go. We're all on together.
Yep, we're all.
I see you have a Dallas Cowboy shirt behind you, if I'm correct.
Yeah, it's a Dallas
And a
Cowboy
Dallas
jersey.
Cowboy. Whoa, you are a serious Cowboy fan.
Yeah, born and raised Cowboy fan. I got a lot of Cowboy memorabilia. And
I
then a lot of
remember
Lakers
when
stuff
the
too.
Steelers. I remember when the Steelers crushed them in the Super Bowl.
I am too young
Just saying,
to
bro.
even.
I got my black and yellow on today a little
Okay.
bit.
Okay, I see it. I see
Hey,
it.
is that a
Yeah.
Bruce? Is that a Shinola watch that you're wearing
That
right there?
is a Shinola watch. Yes, it
It
is.
is? Because I heard about that business. You want to go deeper on what exactly is Shinola watch? And I know it's Detroit based watch.
Yeah. Actually, I
have
want to
any
turn my volume up
contributions?
here for a little bit, but so here's the deal. Shinola, just a little backstory. The brand used to be a shoe polish, like way back in the day, and then it just kind of folded, went out of business after many, many years, and it was just a dormant brand that sat there doing nothing. Some people may recognize there's this phrase, and I know you guys are younger than me. I'm OG, but the phrase is, "You don't know shit from Shinola." Have you ever heard that?
Never heard that.
Okay, your parents have. Trust me. Okay. So, anyways, this guy who's an entrepreneur, and he opened a company named Fossil. Have you ever heard that?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, he decided that he wanted to start something new. So him and his brother, who owned Fossil, he stepped away. He's from Dallas, Texas, actually. How about that? And he said, he bought the brand Shinola, the dormant brand, and said, I'm going to make a watch named Shinola. And he did all these research studies and, focus groups. And the bottom line is when he put, his whole thing is made in America, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But when he put the word Detroit on the Shinola, I don't know if you could see it, but people loved it. And people love
Such
Detroit.
a nice watch.
People love Shinola. And so they started making these watches in Detroit. And now they have some stores pretty much all over the world. I think they got a few out in California where you guys are right now.
Yeah, I'm looking at some of the watches right now. They are very nice watches, man.
That one you had right now is really nice.
Wow.
Yeah, this is one of the Monster Series watches. And it's an automatic. But I got to tell you, that one of their lines called Detrola is real fire. And it's very affordably priced. It goes, it goes for everybody. So even if you're a watch connoisseur and you love Rolex and these high level watches, you still love Shinola too. So we're really proud of what Shinola has done. They didn't have to be in Detroit. They could have been anywhere in the world, but they chose Detroit. And actually, I got to tell you, I'm going to show you something really quick. Just bear with
I got a lot of those watches are very nice, dude. I'm looking at them right now. I don't know if you can. I don't know if you looked it up,
Those look
Alex.
like the perfect Father's Day gift. That's right there in the
Dude,
corner.
right? Whoa. Hey, that's
Ooh.
that
cool.
clock. And you can see the
Wow.
Detroit up there. It's
Oh,
always
you can-
noon.
That's so
That
cool.
is
Yeah. So
nice.
anyways,
What?
that's a little bit about Shinola. And, bottom line is Detroit is manufacturing. Detroit is always grinding. And we continue to make things better in our city as we plug away and just hit grinding every day,
Yeah. I'm glad you brought that up about like Shinola deciding to come to Detroit when they could have gone anywhere else. What makes Detroit that city now that because you are having a huge contribution with that, so that goes without saying. So what makes these businesses say, "Yo, I'm not gonna go to Ohio or New York. I'm gonna go to Detroit." What made
Right.
over
Really,
any others?
I do want to say this, like, we have so many great universities here, and a lot of the talent gets plucked to like the Bay Area and to
Uh-huh.
DC and to New York. And our thing is keep the brains here in Detroit. So I work with a guy named Dan Gilbert. I don't know if you know him. He owns the Cleveland Cavaliers. He
Uh-huh.
also owns Quicken Loans, and he even owns a company named StockX. Have you ever heard of that?
Oh yeah, actually yes. Just the other day, actually that came to my like type of conversation. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So StockX is a platform where people trade shoes, and they're not just trading like penny loafers. We're talking Jordans and Yeezys and
Stop.
Off-White, and they're trading shoes that are rare. So if you go to the StockX website, you can put a bid in on a shoe that you cannot buy anywhere, and people buy and trade, and it's like a platform for things. It's sort of like an eBay, but the difference is we authenticate because there's a
Mhm.
lot of fake shoes out there. And our thing is to make sure that they're real before our clients get them. So, coming back to your question, why are these businesses coming to Detroit? They're coming to Detroit because there's great opportunity. There's a lot of smart people here.
Mhm.
The rent is not nearly what it is if you want to live in some of these other big cities.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
more importantly than anything, the people. The people are amazing here, So this
I
is
mean, I believe it.
it's becoming a little bit of a Silicon Valley of the Midwest because Dan Gilbert
Hey,
who well, I've known since third grade. He,
wow.
Detroit has had some problems. In fact, our
Mhm.
city went through bankruptcy, and at the same time, we were moving downtown, not really caring that it's going to go bankrupt. Our thing is let's grow, let's help our city, let's create jobs, and let's help Detroiters.
That's
So
cool.
yeah, we had like a lot of empty buildings, and he basically started to grow, and more companies continued to move down here. He now owns over 100 buildings downtown. Imagine owning
Whoa,
like
Wow.
imagine owning like 100 buildings downtown LA.
that's a lot of buildings. That.
And these buildings that were pretty much empty, some of them had no elevators, no plumbing, no electric, are now 100% occupied. And
Wow,
we're
that's
going ground
awesome.
up. So people want to be here. We got Microsoft, we got Google, we got LinkedIn, we got some Amazon presence here. Of course, StockX
Jeez.
is a tech company. They just happen to trade shoes, and that's what we're doing in Detroit. I mean, it's much more. Most important, what we're doing right now is helping in this COVID issue because we helped and worked very closely with the city in regards to getting a testing site set up, really building that out, taking our call center and transforming it into a call center for people to schedule testing and go
Nice.
out and get tested. We
Uh-huh.
bought a machine, and have you ever heard of the brand Carhartt?
It sounds
Carhartt.
familiar.
Carhartt.
I
So
don't think
look
I
it
have.
Oh,
up. Carhartt.
Cow
Carhartt.
Health? Yes.
So Carhartt is a Detroit company. So we partnered with Carhartt to make N95 masks for the frontline workers. So we're producing those, and we're really focused on just helping the city. It's not a money thing. Dan Gilbert made plenty of money in the past. This is a do good thing, and this has helped the community. We're really, really focused on, you know, getting the kids tablets so they can school at home, because a lot of Detroiters don't even have computers at their house, getting them internet, doing whatever we can to help the city and make it better every day.
That's awesome.
Wow. That is all great stuff, Bruce. Wow. And I'm pretty
Changing
sure
the
that you
world,
have like a
baby.
little, what happened?
I said we're changing the world is what we're doing.
Yeah, it really does seem like it. Hey, I mean, I don't say you're, before I had you brought on, I basically was saying you're a mogul, an icon, Detroit legend in my eyes. And basically, you're explaining why you're a Detroit legend in my eyes. So there you go,
Well,
Bruce.
thank you for that beautiful compliment. You know, I can tell you it's a team effort.
Oh,
We
I
have
believe it.
30,000 team members in our family, and we're all making an impact. And now that our city has really transformed and continues to grow, the world has their eyes on us, and they're basically, you know, coming to Detroit to check it out. So so my role is to showcase our city. So when people come in, especially to visit our family of companies, and we own over 100 companies, you know, most of them here in Detroit,
Oh,
then before they get into a meeting or before they go on an interview or whatever for recruiting, then they come on this sort of 2-hour curated foot tour and story of what's happening in our city, so that they understand the context before they go in their meeting.
and that's
And
what you
we've,
put on, right?
yeah, so
That's what you do,
basically
right?
last year we toured over 16,000 people. We tour everybody. We've had every single sixth grade Detroit public school student in the entire city
Wow.
through here for a day of innovation, because face it, some people, especially kids in sixth grade, they don't, you know, get out of their neighborhood, let alone come downtown.
Mm-hmm.
And when they do, they see opportunity, and that's our thing. Show our
Opportunity.
Detroiters there's plenty of opportunity. At the same time, I've had Ice Cube and Quavo and the entire Cleveland Brown. I'm sorry, the entire Cleveland Cavaliers team, and a lot of athletes and entertainers and Madonna, and you name it, they come. Okay, people want Detroit right now.
Sounds like it. I
Nice.
mean, you mentioned those people. It's like, okay, like maybe we should pay attention.
Those are a
Yeah,
lot of big names right there.
yeah. You know, I do a lot with the Pistons as well, and so
You're friends with
I'm
Isaiah
working.
Thomas, correct? Sorry, I
Yeah,
didn't.
you know, I actually, the Bad Boys had their reunion. Boy, when was that, Rocco? When was that Bad Boy reunion?
I think it was like 3 weeks
When was
ago.
the Bad Boy reunion? Like a couple months ago. So they, you know, they had this Bad Boy reunion, and so they came on my tour. I had met Isaiah and Joe, and a bunch of them prior to that, but they came to, you know, see the development and what's happening, and really get into like what's happening current. So they're awesome. It was just Isaiah's birthday a couple weeks ago, so gave him a little shout out.
Nice.
And you know, I've been really focused on, you know, just touching everybody, because my goal is to be an inspiration, you know, and to light people up, because especially during this time, that's what we need. We need positivity, not negativity, you know.
During quarantine, what type of
Work-
activity have you been up to? What you doing on quarantine?
Well, you know, I'm working from home, and I actually just moved into another residence, because I got to tell you, it's hard to be, you know, in one place all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I have an apartment downtown. I'm actually in it right now. Maybe I can give you a little view of our city. And we create content. And basically the content is to showcase our city. So
Whoa.
here's the view of where we're at right now. You can even see the Detroit River down here. And then on the other side of
so
that is
beautiful.
Canada. Right there is
Whoa.
Canada.
Oh,
So this is where I'm working out of right now. And we're doing a lot of, social stuff, sort of like you are, we're just
Mhm.
getting the word out on what's happening. And I've had a lot of interviews with people. I just last week interviewed Tom Izzo, Michigan State Spartan legend coach.
right.
Was a
He's
good
on
interview.
my YouTube. We are, I have a small team that we're producing this stuff with, and we're all working from home doing it, which is, more challenging than actually hitting the streets and doing it.
Yeah,
Because
I was about to ask you, because I mean, you're a people person. Like you love to be out with the people. So I'm guessing quarantine is a bit different for you because you've never really like been forced to stay inside, as opposed to, oh wait, oh I don't have to go to work. I'm supposed to do work at home. Okay, well maybe I should.
yeah, no, I would say I'm a street rat. I grew up on the street. I like to touch the people and, hug and, like,
Yeah,
dab and all that. So it's a little bit more difficult, but we figure it out. That's what we
that's
do,
good.
and it's
Yeah.
part of our culture. And we're creating content in a different way. It's interesting what people want to see, because like I'll give you an example. Like on my Instagram, and if anybody out there who wants to follow me, just hit me at Detroit Bruce on
Detroit
Instagram,
Boost.
on Facebook. Mostly, I have a YouTube as well. But like for instance, like here's my page, right? So I just recently interviewed Izzo. There he is, right?
Right.
Hey.
And that was really good. And it was a nice 20-minute interview, and he's an inspiration. The dude, what I love is like, how the players in college, some of them are one and done. They just get
Hmm.
out because they
Yeah.
want to go to the NBA.
Yeah.
He's got plenty of players that could be one and done and go to the NBA, but because of who he is and his culture and his message, he gets the kids to buy in for 2, 3, 4 years. I mean, yes, he's had one and dones, okay? But at
Hmm.
the same time, he keeps the kids there to develop them to not only be athletes, to be great people, because communication and relationships is really what it's about.
Yeah, I got a chance to actually listen to that interview, and basically everything you're saying is exactly what he was saying to his players. He was like, "Yeah, like I want to be able to teach them not only on the court but life after basketball, because life continues right after basketball. But they need to
No
be
doubt.
able to have these communication skills and just be more well-rounded, as opposed to if some of them aren't." So I thought that was I thought that was cool. I thought it was a good interview.
Yeah. What's interesting is, so I thought that would blow up. Okay.
Mm.
In the meantime, I just want to show you a few things. So this is like when this was just the other day, a little bit of bad boy stuff, and a little bit with Isaiah and a few of the others, Lambeer in the background, and that kind of thing. And people love this. We're in Detroit, right?
Yeah.
Right.
But at the same time, you know what they love even more? It's the
What's
craziest
up?
thing. Okay, so for Cinco de Mayo, I'm assuming you celebrate.
Yeah,
We
I
actually,
mean,
we had
many
a
of them,
show.
but we actually had a show.
So check this out. So we want to create content that's different, unique, right? So I could be like, hey, happy Cinco de Mayo, cheers with my margarita, right?
Yeah.
But instead, we push this
Oh, this is
message.
awesome. Oh, this is
Okay?
awesome.
Oh,
So
I remember seeing that.
So that's a lot of tacos. And by the way, that was a strong margarita. All right, but we have an amazing, like, trust me, I didn't eat all those tacos. And just between me and you, there were really about 3 tacos, and then somehow we turned them into like 40 tacos. And then
It's
we
from
create
3 to
content
40.
like this. Like, check this out. So we create content like this because special effects is a big deal. And if you learn this stuff, then this is what people want to see, okay? So people want to see creative, right?
Yeah, they do.
All right, now I want to attract, somehow every message that I do has a Detroit, like a flair to it. So when, you know, it looks like me, 10 different me walking in one space, if
Right.
you read the message under it, the subliminal message is, come to Detroit, hit the streets, roll with me. Detroit is amazing. And that's kind of what we're doing. And then, like, you know, we do something like this. Check this out. People just love stuff. Watch.
God.
All right, then you'll see, because we have love for,
That's funny. That
for
was good.
basketball. A lot of love for basketball. So you're going to see some love for basketball as well.
Hey, the
Cavs.
Cavs. Hey. Oh, snap.
That's pretty dope. That's actually really cool.
Oh, snap.
That's really creative
That's cool.
too.
Yeah.
So that's what people want. They want creative, you know, and then they want to see me hanging out with Usher at the same time. So that's
Usher is a big name.
Legend.
With quarantine going on, are you finding like it hard to be more like creative with not being able to go out and experience as much?
No doubt. In fact, we were just talking about that today, and how can we light people up without being out there doing it? But that's when you just got to get comfortable being uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? You need to mix it up. Maybe that's why people don't want to, even though it's an amazing interview side by side, maybe that doesn't like people's attention. So that's why we're doing things like, you know, these special effects. And, you know, I have this idea. Do you guys know Dude with Sign? Have you ever heard of him?
Dude with sign?
Dude with Sign.
Wait,
Is
dude
it-
with a sign. What? That sounds so. He literally holds a sign up, right?
Yeah, he holds a sign
Yeah,
up.
I've heard of
Yeah,
him.
that guy.
Yeah, so he's a big deal, right? So we're like, all right, Dude with Sign's kind of cool. Like, let's make some signs that have a Detroit message. Somehow Detroit, right?
Yeah.
So I hold up this sign and in front of my building, and it said, it's pop, not soda. Okay? So you guys call it pop or soda in California?
Soda.
Soda, right? But there's this whole part of the world that calls it pop too.
Yeah.
Right.
So then it brings this sort of like, people want to like argue about it. And somehow it got 3 million hits on my Facebook.
No way.
Wow.
And I have this idea of a sign that I'm going to put up. We don't do the signs all the time, but I have this idea that I'm going to put up a sign, and you'll see it drop in the next few days. And I think it's going to get millions of hits too, because it's something that's national. It's something that's not just Detroit. We made it Detroit because I was holding like a Detroit pop, okay? But people will like argue from all over the country about, no, it's soda, it's pop, it's soda pop, right? But I got something coming that's really on point with today's world, especially with the quarantine, and especially with a lot of these seniors that like, they're not graduating, you know what I mean? They're graduating, but they're not getting their prom, they're not getting their walk across the stage. So my sign is going to be so on point. So,
That's
you know,
good. I can't wait.
Others that are inspiring, and then I take my own spin on it.
Nice. I love that. Hey, when I was talking to you yesterday, you mentioned about the ISM 2020 book.
Yeah. Where's my ISM book? It's right here.
I'm very interested to hear about what the ISM 2020 book that you got going on right now, man.
All right, let's talk about that really quick. So our culture is driven by these belief systems that our team aligns with. Because if you don't have a culture in your business, then your business it's not going to be like, you can't get the buy-in from your team as easy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
everyone's not on the same page.
You need to have a culture. You need to have something that drives your people. And when you have over 100 businesses in all different arenas and all different lanes, what can you do to bring everybody on the same page? So we have this book. It's called The Book of Isms. And this book is our belief systems. And on this page, which I'll show you very quickly, there are 19 cutesy little sayings that we practice every day. And these things are so simple that my kids get them. Okay?
Oh, nice.
My big kids do. I actually have my daughter who's a senior in high school, my son who's just finishing his sophomore year, Rocco.
Nice.
I have a 2-year-old, and I have a 7-month-old. So the
wow,
babies don't get it. Big kids get it. These things are like things like do the right thing, find a better way, figure it out. This is not rocket science. And every team member goes to one day of orientation called Isms Day. And that's where our team leaders speak about who we are. Because it doesn't matter what we do. Okay? And when it comes down to it, if you have this foundation and culture, then no matter what business you're in, no matter how many people you have, no matter where they're located, you can get people on the same page. And that's how we continue to grow. That's how we continue to be the best of the best in our businesses. And sometimes it's challenging, but it's all about culture. And I would suggest that if you go to the Quicken Loans career page, just type in Quicken Loans isms, and it'll land you on the career page, and you can read what each ism is and what it means. But I'm telling you, this is for everybody. And I've met with Warren Buffett and Steve Ballmer and the biggest business people in the world, and all the way down to kids, and it works for everybody. Check them out.
Quicken Loans career.
Where can someone find the book for
So
sale?
the book, actually, we give the books away to our visitors.
Gotcha.
Nice.
They're not for sale. I actually saw one on eBay, but it was already sold. But you can read the isms, and I'm happy to send you guys a couple books if you want.
Oh, we'd appreciate it. That's pretty huge to publish a book and give them all away for free.
Yeah, that's what we. It's not money. It's not about money. Listen, one of these isms: money follows; it does not lead.
Money follows; it does not lead.
If you do good, do good things, you will do well. Okay, the money will come. Don't chase money. That's the whole point.
Yep. Wow.
All right, and whatever you do, just be great. Because if you're mediocre, who cares, right?
Right.
Being great is when you go to a different level and you get recognized. Like, bottom line is, you guys been watching the Michael Jordan documentary?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, so after he got crushed by the Pistons 2 years in a row, he was pretty pissed off.
Yeah.
Right.
He had two options. One is go on vacation with his family, or two, rally his team and get back in the gym and bulk up and get some muscle so he doesn't get beat up. And then when they came out on the floor the next year, they took down the Pistons, right? So now he didn't have to do that, and he's Michael Jordan. He could do whatever he wants. But, hey, like, if you want to be great, you need to do something to, separate yourself. And we're focused on doing that every day. Be great.
Nice. Hey, Bruce, before we let you go, man, I got one question to ask. On a scale of 1 to 10, how cool is this hat?
Oh, dude, you're rocking my fedora.
Yes, sir, man. On a scale of 1 to 10, how cool is this hat?
I would say that's a 10, bro.
Really? How many of these hats do you owe?
It's funny you say, because I'm going to show you something, okay? Because I dig hats, okay? And I was just show you because, see, I'm working out of my apartment right now, and I, don't really have my hat swag with me, but just in case I want to like mix it up, I'll go with that
Dude.
one, right? This one's got a little bit different brim on it, so it's a little bigger. I'll put that
Dude,
one,
you got
right?
a lot of hats, man.
Sometimes I'll rock, this
Hey, relation, baby.
right, like that and all that. So I got that hat, so we just rock hats. That's what we do.
My guy.
dope.
Listen,
All right, Bruce.
here's the bomb. Okay, if people aren't tuning in, they're missing. All right, and I would suggest that you guys just keep pushing, keep driving, be great. I don't stop. Keep the grind on, and be creative.
Thank you, Bruce.
Thank you, Bruce. And everyone can follow Bruce at Detroit Bruce on both Twitter and Instagram. Your Facebook page is also Detroit Bruce. And then I haven't double checked your YouTube, but I'll double check right now.
Detroit.
Is it also Detroit?
It's also Detroit Bruce. Yeah.
So Detroit Bruce on all platforms.
And then if you find this, you'll know you found the right guy.
Yeah.
That reminds me,
That is an icon.
I was watching your Instagram live and I saw your mask with your logo on it.
Oh yeah.
That's so cool.
Mask, it's branding too, right? What you guys are doing is branding. I think I heard you guys are talking about a name change. That's part of branding. Branding takes time.
Right.
Just takes time. You guys just keep killing it and do your thing, bro. Hey, maybe if I'm lucky, I'm gonna get my friend on the phone, and my friend is his name's Braylon Edwards. Do you know who that is?
Indeed, we do.
It's huge.
All right, I'm gonna call him and I'm gonna be like, dude, will you give me a shout out for my friends, and then I'll hold the phone up, okay?
That'll be awesome.
Because he just texted me and he's asking me how Mother's Day was. Let's hear.
How was your Mother's Day?
It was great.
1 second, Bruce.
All right, he's there.
That's so dope.
Had to put my headphones on. What's up, buddy?
How are you, my man?
I'm doing good, man. Can't complain. Just did some fasting cardio this morning. Had a couple phone calls. Made a late breakfast. And I was just letting it digest before I take a Zoom call and then work out again later on.
Dude, we get double workouts every day, right?
Got to, man. Got to.
Because you got to keep those guns up. I saw those guns the other night when we were chatting up.
I'm trying to keep it decent, Trying to keep it decent.
Hey, two things. A, thank you for the Mother's Day text.
No problem.
And it was great. We had a great time. How was yours?
It was good. I got to see my girl for a little bit Saturday evening and then Sunday morning. And then came home and, we cooked for mom and kicked it well all day. She had a good time. Nice and simple, nice and sweet.
That's cool. So remember the other night when we were on our Instagram Live and my guy tapped in and I told you he's got his little podcast and he's, a huge sports fan. And then we talked about it, but he never commented. I think he was a little scared. Okay, he's a kid, but so check this out. I'm like on his podcast right now, literally. Okay. Okay. And he's literally like watching me talk to you. Okay. And he's freaking out. All right. And I'm like, he's like, well, Braylon. I'm like, yeah, Braylon, like it's a sports podcast. Okay. So, first of all, his partner is sitting there with all this Dallas Cowboy swag behind him, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" Okay, because
they have a quarterback right now.
Yeah, they do. But I said maybe I get Braylon on the phone and he'll say hello. I didn't say I'd FaceTime you in or anything, but I said maybe you'd say hello to his. He doesn't have a huge audience, but hey, he's sports, So what do you got? So what's the name of your, Jordan? Talk to Braylon and tell him what your podcast is.
What's up, Mr. Edwards? First off, it's a pleasure to actually sit down and have a conversation with you. Our podcast is a sports podcast. We've been running since October. We've had numerous of guests, Olympics softball athlete, couple college football players, and now we get the legend, the man himself, Detroit Bruce on. And you guys, I think things are doing pretty well.
That's good. That sounds good. Yeah, you're right about that, though. That he is the legend, the man.
He is indeed, man, without a doubt.
The legend.
Listen, as always, it's a team effort. No one is a legend on their own.
The team is a legend.
This is true. Some people just take it to the next level, that finite level.
Yeah, but hey, Braylon, I'm gonna dip because I'm gonna get off this Zoom. I have another call. I'll call you later.
Okay, sounds good.
Thanks for
Thank you,
saying.
Braylon.
Thank you, Braylon.
No problem.
All right,
guys, have a good.
You too. Thank you.
that wasn't bad.
That was awesome.
You could say you had Braylon Edwards.
We will.
Good.
Wow.
For sure. That's
right.
so awesome.
All right, Bruce. We're gonna let you go, man. You got some stuff to do. You got a day ahead of you. But first off, we really want to appreciate you for coming on, taking the time out of your day to just hang out with us, just talk to me, because obviously we haven't talked in a long time. So I really do appreciate this. So thank you.
You're like family, bro. So I'll never
appreciate it.
Say hi to your family for me. Send my love.
They're actually watching right now. I'm not gonna lie.
Where are they?
They're watching through YouTube Live.
What's up? Are they on right now? Are your sisters? And
Yeah, they might be. They might be
Jack,
actually.
Is
Yeah.
Jack watch this stuff? No,
Yeah,
Jack
might actually
get on. What's up, Jack? Bro, I miss you. I wore my black